I just thought the fucking jacket was gonna make it better. So we've seen ourselves into a major flaw into the whole world. I'm going to make sure that this video isn't politically motivated, and going to make sure that the whole video in itself is not that contradictory to what I'm saying. I, as an American, will be fair to China, and I am trying to be as objective as possible. Conspiracy theories are in itself a little bit dangerous, but conspiracy theories are inevitable. It can happen anytime. This isn't that major of a conspiracy video, but this is also exposing what China has done throughout the whole years and even throughout the decades and even the century that China has been doing for so long without its own representable of its own self. They have been doing so many things that have been immorally wrong. But I'm going to make sure that all of that is going to be unbuckled and exposed, because China has been doing a lot of things that it's not supposed to be doing, and it is a major flaw to the whole world. Let's just get into like a very serious tone. China has been having so many civil wars even before where we are right now, okay? And I know you guys are wondering, what is my definition of morally, right?
Morality in itself has some very deeply philosophical meaning. You actually have to think about it and see what it means. By the definition of Google, concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior, and the goodness or badness of human character. So basically, the Chinese Civil War began in April of 1927. Basically, the Chinese communists and the Chinese nationalists, which were primarily capitalists, versus the communists, which basically the war ended in 1950 and resulted in the establishment of the People's Republic of China in Mainland China. And then the Republic of China and Taiwan, of course, moved to Taiwan to be the capitalist of China. At the time, both sides claimed to be China's legitimate governing power. You know, we can also talk about the northern expeditions with generals have been doing throughout their own people, and you know, the Shanghai massacre or the capture of Beijing, or so many things with the Sino-Japanese war within the Japanese, within the, you know, the Chinese. I don't know, do we have some type of morality or empathy towards the Chinese government? I kind of do. They are people after all. But I know they have some type of goodness inside their heart. But throughout the history of the Chinese government, with their secret and intelligence type of figures inside their own government, I understand what they try to do. But you know, I understand that they're trying to help their own citizens and selling out the goods within their own people, trying to give out healthcare, whatever that is. Have you seen the modern day Chinese government? I'm not trying to just talk about the before China, basically the crimes and the things that the Chinese government has done before. We are trying to talk about the modern day Chinese government, which is immorally wrong in itself. My thesis statement is, opposed into an argument towards China, is that China in itself is immorally wrong, and it is a country that doesn't fit modern day values.
I don't know, guys. Is it really... is it okay to even call China, like, a communist country? Something that it is, right? So that's obvious. But the question is it okay to call it an immoral country? Objectively speaking, yes. We have seen what China has done throughout the century, and we've at least unbuckled all the things that it has done. But as we could look inside into this type of things, the certain events and the certain current events that is clearly just happening right now, and basically all the current events are going to be explained in a proper way of saying this whole massacre that China has created throughout the centuries. And we can even see that all about, pretty much, you could even go back to the times where the dynasties were even there. It's still like a current day, like, nostalgia for them, right? And so basically what I'm trying to say, the three dynasties are almost like a nostalgic event towards, like, the modern day Chinese government. What did the dynasties fight for? They fought for power, and they fought for their people. Their people, right? But it was not necessarily for their people. It was only for their own political gain. And you know, this is the same exact thing what I'm talking about. The modern day China is pretty much more about power than the people. In opposition, and I've said this before. I mean, I've said this before, like in the primary part of my video. I'm trying to make sure that this is not some type of contradictory into like any of my points, right? But I'm trying to say that pretty much China in its own self has been doing a lot of things and such for more of a self-gain, or for their own political leaders of elitist. It's been like that for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries. It's been like that forever with China. As you can see, Chinese people have been really scarce with water and such, so I really hope for the best for the Chinese people. I wish I could do, and I wish you guys could do something for them. But at the time right now, it's kind of hard, especially with the things that we're in, quarantine, whatever the case is.
So we have things just like in China, mainland China particularly speaking. We have things that, current events that you could get oppressed by your own religion, religious writings, and you could be caged up inside of a detention camp just for being a Muslim. And people like Secretary Pompeo calling out this type of contradictory nonsense. The Great Famines are like one of the worst things that a Chinese person and the roots of a Chinese man or woman could experience. 45 million Chinese people died because of this. And with that ongoing, we have things like the smog, which is one of the worst case scenarios and the highest alerts of cancer patients in the whole world in its own history. Now, I have a sincere fucking case now. Now, tell me, why does Shanghai have 536 confirmed cases until now it says that it has 383 cases with 6 deaths, and confirming that 84,000 of these cases are mostly projected onto Hubei, which is a little bit beside of Wuhan, which is kind of weird. Now, I don't understand. How come Shanghai, which is the 3rd largest city by population, which has 23.4 million people, compared to New York, just New York State, has 19.85 million people just in itself. Now, we also need to also look at this. Now, China, well, we could look at China's just healthcare system just objectively. China's healthcare system is it's not doing well. Alright, it's at 47 compared to 100 plus countries. It's the worst. Now, we also have to look at the coronavirus, which is basically the New York cases, which we rank 30 out of all the other countries on healthcare, confirming that 257,216 cases are confirmed with 17,000 deaths, and recoveries are 0, which is kind of weird. And I'm starting to look at, why is this happening? Is something happening? Like, I don't understand. We basically are having more cases than the mainland just in itself, where it was founded. Okay guys, so when I was like doing this video, I've been doing some type of research throughout the whole day and throughout the whole weekend. And so basically I found this. You know, not that much research, and no guys, I don't have a script. Okay, when I searched up the coronavirus created, right, was it really? So we could look at Fox News within its own fucking whatever that is, with BuzzFeed. Like, all of these are all saying no. And there's a lot of people around the United States, not just me, not just even the United States, but people who say around the world that this might be even man-made. And you can see throughout this whole page, and we can start looking around the second one, it all says that it wasn't created. So I don't understand. I don't know if Google is hiding it, or like the WHO is funding Google to not tell them it wasn't. Look at this, unproven. Like, what? We could literally see all around this area that you have the fucking Weather Channel reporting on this type of things.
the Weather Channel, which is a little bit weird. Like, the Weather Channel? Since when the Weather Channel started reporting on the news? It reports the weather. So Trump's new favorite cable news, okay, that's fucking useless. I don't understand. I don't understand why is this even a thing? Like, I don't understand. So the time Chinese official disavows U.S. military, oh my goodness. False headline claim, Harvard professor arrested for creating what? Wait, what's this? Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know, man. This is like the weirdest shit ever. I'm gonna end the video right here. Until the next episode, I guess I'm gonna talk about something else about what's going on in America and whatever the case is, right? Thank you for whoever watched this video and took the time to at least watch this video, because it took me a while to make it. Don't trust the Chinese government. It's hiding stuff from us, and it is a true hazard and something bombastic that we can't deal with, because they are hiding something from among the whole world. The WHO, you shouldn't trust it either. You shouldn't trust the WHO. They're hiding the numbers from China to us. They're hiding the numbers from among everyone in the world. That's the creepiest shit ever. And that's pretty much what China is all about. It's all about power. Nothing else.